A Florida man is in custody this morning after police say he drove a box truck erratically on Interstate 95 yesterday afternoon in Old Town. 36-year-old Julio Matos is charged with criminal OUI, driving to endanger, and failure to notify of a motor vehicle accident. State police say they received 14 911 calls. The truck reportedly smashed through a closed weigh station gate, traveling the wrong way in the southbound lanes, and drove in circles in the Bangor Lowe's parking lot. Matos was finally taken into custody without incident in the BJ's parking lot. No injuries were reported. More charges may be filed.